Like, come on. It's literally written right here. It's written right here. That's how simple this is, bro. You could just out and about say it, and that's it. Like, this is not something that he revealed, okay? This is information that was leaked to the public. So this is something that I was going to bring up, but Sam Bankman-Fried's plan, if he got caught, literally that he detailed out in his Google document, was to go on Tucker Carlson, come out as a Republican, go with the lawyers. We're in a situation. I feel really bad about that. And like most people do, they reacted poorly to difficult circumstances narrative. He like wrote it out. While public contributions show one thing, you see another thing, including super PACs. Come out against the woke agenda. Talk about how the cartel of lawyers is destroying value and throwing entrepreneurs under the bus in order to cover up the incompetence of lawyers.
See, I need to emphasize that, like, I cannot stress enough how this is like there's never been more evidence that we need to make Adderall illegal. We need to not let anybody have stimulants ever again, because this is just like the most like methed out logic I can imagine.
I can't help but notice that one of my most common statements is once again proven here, which is it is the easiest audience. It is the most malleable dullards on the planet. All you need to do is say, I hate woke, I'm Republican now, and they will welcome you with open arms.
I mean,
nobody grifts to the left.
We need to come up with like a list of like the people who've done this, like, because I'm thinking of like obviously like SBF now, Rod Blagojevich, Eric Adams,
the Russell Brand.
Russell Brand. Oh, right. Yeah. Well, he's the best. I mean,
Russell Brand is like such an obvious version.
He went from being like, we need to set fire to the patriarchy, to like being like, buy my Christian crystal, so that you don't get like
Dr. Kid,
you don't get solar AIDS
Dr.
or whatever.
Kid Inspect. That was another one.
Dr. Kid Inspect.
Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg, the Zuckerbot, obviously is sucking up to Donald Trump aggressively after being king lib himself. It's that easy. It's that easy. That's why everybody always does that. Like overwhelming majority of content creators as well that have like made a very weird pivot.
Most disgusting podcasts I've ever seen. A podcast from prison, from a guy who went to jail for costing people billions of dollars. Eventually, he basically lucked out because crypto markets ramped back up. So luckily, people are getting their money back. And now he's making a case that maybe he should be pardoned. Maybe he should get off. We're talking, of course, about Sam Bankman-Fried, the person behind FTX, Alameda gambling billions of dollars. And the guy interviewing him doesn't really care about any of the details of the case. Instead, he's focused on a very strange line of questioning, which is, hey, you donated money to Democrats. Why didn't you get more corruption? Which I know is a strange thing to say. But this is the interview. It's by Tucker Carlson. Sam Bankman-Fried on life in prison with Diddy and how Democrats stole his money and betrayed him. And you will find the premise is basically that, hey, you gave them money. Why didn't they do the corruption? Which is just like bizarre. Because aren't we all on the same page that political corruption should not exist, right? Like how could...
Yeah, that is... I'm sure Coffeezilla is going to bring this up, but that is because that is a talking point given to Tucker Carlson prior that directly corresponds to Sam Bankman-Fried's previous previous assertion that if he's ever caught, he's going to do exactly that. That is going to be his right-wing pivot.
How can you steal someone's donation unless you're implying that quid pro quo should exist? The implicit assumption here is, oh, they should have basically let you off, even if you stole billions of dollars, because you gave them money, which is insane. I mean, it's just like, what are we doing here, fellas? What are we doing? Anyway, I'll just show you.
No, the other side of this also, unironically, makes the Democrats look good. Obviously, people are too stupid to understand that, but like, this logic implies that the Democrats are uncorruptible, and giving them money didn't cause Joe Brandon to actually free Sam Bankman-Fried. That's what's hilarious about this. But because people are so stupid, okay, because people are so dumb, it doesn't matter. This is something I realized during COVID, okay, when Donald Trump came out and said over and over again that Barack Obama handled the swine flu worse than he was handling COVID. The numbers literally did not add up. The numbers actually showed a very different reality. At the time, I remember talking about this and saying, like, no, liberals are supposed to falsely use this as a comparison to say how much better Barack Obama is. And then the Republicans are supposed to go back and say, well, swine flu was not as contagious as COVID. But that never happened. And the reason for why that never happened is because there was no need for it. There was all you need to do at this point, because of the height of partisanship, the height of polarization that we're experiencing, all you need to do is Democrat bad. That's all you need to say. You can literally say something that they've done that unironically is good. Okay. And even then, people are just like, well, it's a Republican saying something about Democrats, so obviously I'm going to interpret that as them doing the wrong thing.
The clip and we'll talk about it.
Big picture, without getting into like all the details of your case, but it does seem like you guys made a decision at your company to form political alliances through political donations, which is not singling you out. You're hardly the only businessman who's done that. It's actually kind of par now.
It's bad though, right? We are going to say that that's bad. Trying to win political favors with money, right?
But you gave so much to Democrats that I kind of thought they would rescue you in the end. Where were all your friends?
Like, saying that the Democrats are fake friends to you is so funny in this regard, because it just if you're Tucker Carlson, you don't want to give the Democrats credit. But here, Tucker Carlson is literally giving the Democrats credit for being an incorruptible force. But because of the height of political polarization, people don't understand. Because of the height of political polarization and how stupid people are nowadays, they don't even understand what Tucker Carlson is saying here. They just go, yeah, that's right. Democrats are fake friends, I guess.
Friends of the Democratic Party. They usually keep their friends from going to jail. Tony Podesta never went to jail. Why did you?
Oh, it's a really good question. Obviously, I can only guess at the answer to that. I can only speculate because I'm not in their minds.
The answer is it was billions of dollars of fraud. What are you talking about? Why weren't you rescued from, your billions of dollars of fraud because you gave some money to different? Isn't that what we all want? What is this? And then, by the way, my favorite part about this is the rationalization of basically Sam's going to say, well, maybe I wasn't Democrat enough. And maybe if I had been no.
Yeah, the reason why he's saying that is because, once again, he spelled that out in this Google Doc. He spelled it out. While public contributions show one thing, you see another thing, including super PACs. As in, the Democrats knew that my super PAC donations implied that I was actually secretly a Republican. That's why they didn't save me.
Oh, no, that's not why. You were a huge fraudster. You went to jail, as should be expected. We should all be happy about that. And to the extent there is political corruption and people aren't going to jail because they're donating, we should be targeting that as the problem, not, hey, you donated a lot of money. Why didn't you get a get out of jail free card with the FBI?
But, one fact that might be relevant is, in 2020, I was center left and I gave to Biden's campaign.
Like, come on, it's literally written right here. It's written right here. That's how simple this is, bro. You could just out and about say it, and that's it. Like, this is not something that he revealed, okay? Note, these are all random, probably bad ideas that aren't vetted, confidential, on the top of the Google Doc, okay? This is information that was leaked to the public. Do you understand?
This guy believes in nothing, by the way.
I was optimistic he'd be a sort of solid center-left president. I spent the next few years in DC a lot. I made dozens of trips there and was really, really shocked by what I saw, not in a good direction from the administration. By late 2022, I was giving to Republicans privately as much as Democrats. And
there it is.
That started becoming known right around FTX's collapse. So that probably played a role.
So, okay, just so we're clear, his explanation is the reason I didn't get any quid pro quo is because I also gave to the other team trying to win their quid pro quo because he was trying to hedge his bets. Remember, this is the same guy who goes, oh yeah, all you have to do is say the right shibboleths and people are going to believe it. Like basically, you just say whatever you need to get power, which is exactly what he's doing here, by the way. He's aligned himself now he was with the left when Biden was in office. Now he's with the right now that Trump's in office because he's angling for a pardon. And why aren't we skeptically looking at that? This guy believes in absolutely zero. All of a sudden, he was left and then he was donating to the right because he wanted to get both sides. And now his explanation of like, yeah, the reason, I didn't get pardoned, which this is not why, but he's like basically saying the reason I didn't get pardoned is because it got out that I was trying to win both sides. I was trying to buy both teams, and that's the no-no. And it's just insane. This interview's like kind of implicit premise is if you don't give people like a get out of jail free card, you have stolen their money and betrayed them. Do you guys understand how insane this is? The literal chapter title is Democrats Refuse to Rescue SBF Despite His Large Donations. What are we doing?
Look at the comments. A lot of people are falling for the grift. Fraud should not be political, the most contentious take. SBF isn't center left. He's just self-centered. Tucker's I'm listening to face. It's not that bad. He's 100% trying to get Trump or Elon's attention for a pardon. The void is getting blagger and blagger. They're not. Why did you say that his comments were falling for the grift, chat? No, they're not buying it at all. Oh, you mean on the Tucker video? Of course, Tucker Carlson's audience is eating that. Dude. I'm going to go back to the same. Okay. I just realized you were talking about Tucker Carlson's video and the comments under the Tucker Carlson video. Yeah, no duh. Oh my God. What a shocking revelation. Tucker Carlson's fans are stupid. Oh my God. You're telling me now for the first time ever that a right-wing broadcaster's right-wing audience are a bunch of dumb hogs. Hello. I mean, yeah, you're going to see a lot more of this, by the way. America deserves the best. America gets the best when the fries are cooked in 100% beef tallow. Only available at Steak and Shake. Sayonara, Ronald. You chose the Nazi font. Old English font style is not Nazi. It's Old English. Get over the Nazi nonsense. Like, brands are actively trying to promote to, like, weirdos online. Like, they are literally... marketing is moving in the anti-DEI direction. You're going to see literal Burger-Reich nonsense. Okay? I'm telling you right now, this is deliberate and it will happen more frequently. Okay? Everything's a Nazi. Steak and Shake endorses eating your heart out and also giving your heart out to others. Now, it's like silly stuff. It's just marketing. Does this mean that everyone at Steak and Shake is a Nazi? No, of course not. It just more so is indicative of the change in attitude where these dummies unironically do think that there is a real big market for people who believe this kind of nonsense. McDonald's used to do this and had to stop because they were literally killing their customers. Yeah, I love that. I love that we're just going to America is just going to be entirely lard. Every American is just going to be filled to the brim with lard, baby. Let's go.
Fantastic. Here, fellas. And look, I've got to, look, I don't want to do this whole, by the way, I despise this politics stuff. I don't like it. I do not like it. However, we cannot ignore the fact that fraudsters are basically walking free left and right because of political contributions or at least it doesn't hurt them. I am, of course, talking about Justin Sun, who got charged by the SEC basically a couple years ago for pretty serious fraud claims. Market manipulation, wash trading, things that hurt like real customers. This is not some political anything. It's just like, hey, you committed fraud, or it looks like you committed fraud. We're going to go after you. That's sort of the idea that the SEC's indictment would have you believe. Now, it just so happens to be that Justin Sun, same guy who got indicted, donated a ton of money to World Liberty Financial, which is the Trump financial project. In fact, he donated so much money that the guy who leads it, the founder, claims that World Liberty Financial success came partly because of Justin Sun. He says the project's fortunes changed. However, when Justin Sun stepped in, this guy, Folkman said, with a gesture towards Sun, saw that regardless of the outcome, this project is a monumental move for the entire crypto community. Justin Sun put 10 figures into it, over $10 million. I've seen reports that it was $75 million into this Trump-backed coin, which you could not trade. So it's like, why would you put money into a coin you couldn't sell? And you're being indicted by the SEC, or you're being charged by the SEC, and just coincidentally, you put in $75 million into the political leader's coin, right? All of a sudden, what happens? SEC halts fraud prosecution of the crypto rogues purchases enriched Trump. Quote, on Wednesday, the Securities Exchange Commission and Sun sent a joint letter to a federal judge asking for a stay of Sun's case. Now, did this all come because of the donations or the buying of the World Liberty Financial Token? It's hard to know. I'm sure it didn't hurt, right? It's a similar type of
the answer is yes.
Tacit donation that Bankman-Fried made. So it's impossible not to look at this interview and compare the two outcomes. And you go like, well, are we just like selling get out of jail free cards to people?
The answer is yes.
Right? Again, not saying that Sun directly did that. But indirectly, if you literally are credited with like the turnaround of someone's entire crypto endeavor, and then all of a sudden you get let off being prosecuted, we have to look at that skeptically. Like, it's, come on, let's put two and two together a little bit. But it's insane to have a podcast where instead of like seeing that as the problem, like Justin Sun getting off after making one of Trump's projects very wealthy, instead of seeing that as the problem and maybe something that politically is corrupt, we go, well, why didn't you benefit from the same thing, Sam Bankman-Fried? Why did you get your money stolen? And why were you betrayed? I mean, what a backwards clown world to live in, where we're having prisoners pontificate about, well, why weren't you just like, you paid? Why didn't you get what you paid for? It's crazy. I mean, it's absolutely insane. We are in so much of the like bizarro world where we're almost like trying to make everyone feel bad for the criminals who basically didn't benefit from political corruption. You did all the right things, Sam. Can you please explain why you didn't also get out of jail? I mean, basically what we're realizing is Sam was too early. Sam was too early, and if he had just been a little bit later and he had lined the right pockets, would he have gone to jail? It's impossible to say. In fact, what's sick about this, dude, I don't know if y'all see that I'm going crazy. I'm going a little bit crazy.
I love the radicalization arc of Coffeezilla. Watching
Sam Bankman-Fried is now parlaying for a pardon, right? And we're all clear about that. He's basically trying to say that his prosecution was political. The irony is, what we've just established is that in some ways it's the most not political prosecution because he donated the most to the guys who were in office at the time. So actually it's not political that you went to jail, I guess. But now he's trying to say like, oh, what happened to me is maybe similar to what happened to Trump. Maybe I was politically prosecuted.
Biased judges in terms of prosecutorial abuse, and in terms of sort of the politicization of the DOJ over the last decades, and I would say speeding up recently.
And do you think your child is part of that story?
I think that's a piece of the picture.
How could it possibly be a piece of the picture? And now he's sort of going the whole, like he's aligning himself with the guys in power for the same reasons he did it the last cycle. And we're sort of credulously interviewing him on podcast after podcast with very little pushback beyond, hey, do you feel like you got cheated because you didn't get the same deal that, maybe other people have gotten where they paid their way out of their problems? Now, not only was this crazy to watch Sam say this, there's also just sort of no pushback on Sam's kind of discussion of, he's sort of asked like, oh, do you think you're the biggest criminal? Sam says no, and then there's not really any pushback because I'm not sure Tucker understands the details or cares about the details. And like, my only view is, look, interview whoever you want. But if you're going to interview one of arguably the biggest financial criminals of the last decade, you should know what he did. Like, you should know the details, right? If you're going to do journalism. Instead of just being like, well, do you think you did it? No, I don't. Okay, well, I don't want to get into it.
Being as honest as you can, do you think you were the biggest criminal in the crypto business?
I don't think as a criminal. So certainly the answer to that is no. I mean, I think the DOJ thinks that I may have been, but I don't share their viewpoint.
Well, yeah, you're in jail. They definitely, that's their claim anyway. But I wonder, and I'm not, I've certainly criticized your business and other businesses like it in the past. And again, I'm not even getting into the details of your case because it's like Byzantine, but.
No, not but. Not but. What do you mean? Hey, I'm going to ask you if you're a criminal. You say no. Well, I don't want to get into the details because it's Byzantine. What?
This is double exposure for Tucker Carlson because it once again shows that he is obviously a right-wing propagandist with no interest in like the truth, right? But he's also a guy who is still very much not independent from the Republican Party and very much still operating alongside like Fox News while seemingly retaining his independent status. No independent guy is gonna, no like independent reporter Tucker Carlson is gonna go and like do this kind of defense for Sam Bankman-Fried and unveil him as a newfound right-wing guy who's attacking the Democrats. That's it.
It's just so weird. And I'm just like, why does this interview exist? It's not like Sam is a darling of the right. He's trying to make himself one. I don't even understand what this piece of media is or what it hopes to achieve. And I'm just sort of frustrated because now the new playbook for scammers and people like the Tate brothers who are accused of horrendous actions is just to cry political prosecution, and it's sort of working. So it's infected my sphere of influence where I talk about scams, and these scammers are now saying, with no seeming cause, they're like, well, I'm politically prosecuted. It was all politics. And so now I feel like I have to talk about it. I can't have, Sam Bankman-Fried from prison angling for some kind of pardon with a guy who has no idea about his case. And it's just like, I have to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Why? It's stupid. It's stupid. This isn't a political thing. Fraud should not be political. Scams should not be a political issue. We should hate them equally on both sides. And the same is true of corruption, which is kind of a type of scam. Where you get away with something for no reason, other than you've aligned yourself, you've lined the right pockets. These should be universal issues that we all agree on. So it kind of disgusts me that I have to even talk about it, but we can't trick ourselves into like what's actually happening here. Why is Sam going on these podcasts? Also, we played this Sun interview. Why is he going on this podcast? Is it because he just loves talking, or is it because he's trying to align himself and trying to claim like political prosecution to try to get a pardon, even though we've already gone through the litigation of establishing that he's one of the great financial criminals? I'm
not trying to be annoying. I just want to know, how do we obtain SBF's strategy if he got caught? I think it was court documents. He was revealing court documents.
Criminals of our time. Anyways, it's just insane. I mean, what a wild discussion. To go, hey, you lined everyone's pockets. Why'd they steal your money and betray you when you committed crimes? We are in a, yeah, dude. I feel like every day we sink more into this black hole, the void, you might say. Every day I'm just like hit with these insane things, and I have to I'm having to ingest it, and I'm like. Every day I'm like, it can't get worse. So yeah, that's basically it. One of the more disgusting interviews I've seen. And I hope people view it outside of the polarizing lens of politics and just realize corruption is bad and we should not accept it.
It will get worse. 100%. Do you think SBA was a fall guy or patsy? No, I don't. No, I don't. Sometimes people are the guy and then the guy gets caught. I don't like that everything has to be a psyop. I hate it. I hate that everyone interprets everything as a psyop. Not everything's a psyop. Jesus Christ. The 4chanification of the internet has bricked the brains of so many goddamn people. Yeah, it rained quite a bit yesterday in Southern California. Is that a psyop? No! It rained!